Hello, everyone. And on our podcast show, we dived into Samsung's Unpacked event, which was recently announced. And they unveiled their latest flagship phone, the Galaxy S24 series.
The Unpacked things.
Yeah, Unpacked things. This time, it was a live event with real audience and a massive stage with an impressive visuals. Guests included Mr. Beast and Pokimane, and they conducted live demos of some of the new features. So all in all, I was pretty impressed. What do you think?
Why was Pokimane there?
She was there, yeah.
Yeah, but why was she there? Actually, didn't the guy call her Pokimane?
Pokimane, yeah.
They called her Pokimane at first. Like, even the guy didn't know who she was. It's kind of sad. But everyone knows who Mr. Beast is.
Yeah.
But why didn't they call him Jimmy? That's his real name.
I
Jimmy
know,
Donaldson.
Jimmy Donaldson.
Mr. Beast,
Yeah,
right?
Mr.
I mean,
Beast.
introduce him properly, right? He's got a name. I know he's got a brand, but he's got a name.
Yeah.
Right? But good for you, Jimmy. Good for you.
Let's start off with some of the Galaxy S24 series of new features before we go into the hardware. This year, they have a new kind of OS with 7 years of OS updates.
Interesting. So they have matched Android.
Trust me, bro.
Google and Google. Yeah, this is definitely a trust me, bro situation because this is what the Pixel 8 did this. They said 7 years of updates. Oh, okay. So this phone will last 7 years. That's not what they're saying. They will do an Apple and make the phone so useless that you're going to have to want to get rid of it.
If I said 5 years, I would have been okay with it. 7 years? That's a long time.
It's a long time for any phone, any device. It won't. I don't think it's going to last that long.
I don't think so.
I think this is kind of like most products out there. They'll give you a lifetime warranty, but in reality, it's going to fall apart before you even can claim that, or you get rid of it on your own because it's just going to be obsoleted by something else cool, shiny, right? Because it's a phone, right?
That's true.
So I don't expect people will claim this warranty, the software warranty
Updates.
updates up to that point. I think the phones will basically be offline before they even get there.
Probably max 5 years, I guess.
So we'll have to see. And they might have to scale it back because no one is actually using the devices.
Yeah.
Right? 5 years, maybe. 4 years, maybe. Yeah, that's reasonable. But it just sounds good on paper, right?
Yeah. They got this thing called the circle to search, which I found was quite interesting. Basically, you can press the home button and it'll pause the screen, whether it's a photo, app, or anything on the screen. You can actually circle it and Google will pop up with all the searches.
Yeah, this is better than using Google Lens, Google Google search, image search, because you can't take a picture of your phone. You can do a screenshot and crop it, but that's 2 steps. So if you pause a video, pause a movie, I want that lamp, you circle it by pausing it. You hold down the home button, circle it, or scribble on it, and then it'll immediately come up with search results for that particular item, which is I find is very cool because I often like, hey, what's that? Back up. Oh, I want that. Or I want to know more about that.
Yeah.
So it feeds that need for people's insatiable curiosity.
That's right.
To have that instant gratification. So I think it's a good I think it's a good update. It's going to be S24 first, and then it's probably going to roll out to the Pixel series at some point.
Yeah. The other thing I like is also the live translation or interpreter. Literally, you can do live conversations.
Yeah, you put the phone in front of you and it'll speak back in a sexy Spanish voice. Hola.
That's right. And also text as well. So literally you can make a phone call. So imagine I'm talking to a friend or someone. If you're traveling, you need to book a restaurant, you can literally speak in your native language, say English. And on the other side, this is real time now.
Yeah.
The other person at the restaurant speaking in their native language, be it Japanese, French, Spanish, whatever, it'll speak their own language and it will have a conversation, two-way conversation. And the other person won't be able to hear what the native language is. It was just be English.
The ultimate catfishing. So you are a sexy hola. Buenos dias.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is they have the note assist and chat assist. Basically, you can make notes.
Yeah.
And you know where you scribble all notes, is your handwriting. It'll tidy it up and it will actually put it into, bullet point form.
Yeah,
So,
like it's something that I think Microsoft Notes tries to do, but doesn't do it very well.
Yeah.
But with the AI kind of chef's kiss,
It was so good.
It makes it look really nice. That's provided that you actually think in a logical manner, because it can only do so much, right? So if you have notes that make no sense, it's still going to give you gibberish because it's just a machine. But I remain optimistic that it may help a lot of people. Plus, that's not the best part about this, is that if you do have coherent notes, it'll actually summarize it and send it to you.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
summarize
yeah,
it,
summarize it.
bullet points, summarize what happened here, and then just send that high level look to all of the people that were in the meeting so that they have that taste of what's happened. And if they need more details, they can talk to you, right? So I think that for business and everything like that, for anyone that uses a pen type device like a tablet or anything like that, it's too bad that I don't think this is getting it. We'll see. They didn't say anything specifically about that. They just said that the Samsung AI based on the Gemini model from Google is going to be launching with S24.
Yeah.
Didn't really hear when the other devices will get those updates. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
They have new AI-powered cameras with Pro Vision engine. That's
Of course they do.
They're going to have AI in all of their stuff. So imagine taking photos and stuff. It'll be AI enhanced and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting with that. And 2,600 nits of brightness.
It's really bright. It's really bright.
I mean, that TV that you mentioned in the CES was like
3,000. So this is a phone. So this phone can give you like a localized sun tan.
Yeah, 2,600 nits of brightness. That's huge. Okay, and then for the rest of it, you have super HDR, night photography, and visual stabilization,
which now works on Instagram because they've partnered with them to put these features directly into the app. So if you don't want to use an external application for editing or for taking photos, you can definitely do that.
That's right.
But unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, the AI editing, the AI software is going to make people question what is a photo. I asked that question many times ago.
That's right.
During the Pixel, where they move stuff around. Like, I never made that shot. I can't jump that high, right? Then they were using this photo of this basketball player that is nowhere near dunking and kind of pushes them up.
Yeah, just cropped that guy, pushed them up, and then it would auto fill in the blank space.
Yeah, this is kind of scary in the sense that people expect your phone to be like truthful, but they did also mention that if you use their app to do the AI editing, and this is part of something that the whole industry is on board with, Adobe, Microsoft, they're trying to find ways to watermark images that use an AI transformer or some sort of model to actually generate generative AI to fill in these gaps and create new images. So all Samsung images will have a metadata tag and also the Samsung sparkly Duda watermark in the corner. Okay, even if you crop that out, it still has the metadata. So hopefully that carries on.
Okay, that's good because then people then can identify photos which are true photos, which one click photo, that's it, no editing, and versus a doctored AI altered image.
Very important because what if someone made a photo of Prince Harry with Meghan Markle? Oh, that would be scandalous, would it not? But they would never be in the same place. But of course, the damage is done.
Yeah, fake photos.
Fake photo.
They used to say, 1,000 words, right? A photo speaks 1,000 words. I don't know, fake words maybe?
I also do like the fact that across the ecosystem, Samsung Share will be a standard for all Android devices for quick sharing devices. So
quick
AirDrop,
share.
This is our version. This is our AirDrop moment where we can share a photo directly across the room with someone else. As long as you have their information. In fact, Mr. Beast was 100 feet up and he was able to share
a photo
across to the other crane in the demo video. That photo. It was so fast. He was like, oh, here it is. Okay, cool. So very, very neat. Little bit, I think this is a little bit late for us, for Android users, but hey, it's nice that it's here. There was the other sharing mechanism inside Android devices, native Android devices called, I can't remember what it's called.
Did they just use Bluetooth back then?
No, it was called something else. I don't have my Pixel here, but it was it had another name wasn't Samsung Quick Share.
Was it good enough?
Something. Did exactly the same thing.
Okay. Just they kind of rebranded it, and then
yeah. Just kind of the collaboration between the two. Happy, fancy, hold hands.
Yeah.
This is what they're calling it now.
So with the new phones, of course, new chips, they run lots of calculations. It's going to produce a little bit of heat, especially during gaming. They got this extra large vapor chamber cooling now. So you'll see that in most of the new Galaxy S24 series phones and stuff like that.
And because we're getting out of the way all the commonalities between all the devices, in North America, all of the devices will be running on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor in North America only. Now, globally, the S24 Ultra, which we'll speak about in just shortly, it's going to be Qualcomm in all global regions, with the exception of the S24 and S24 Plus, which will have the Exynos 2400 chip.
All right.
Okay.
That's the reason why I didn't see the CPU.
That's
specs.
why they were very, they didn't list it on the sites, but this is what has happened. So Exynos, they're doing the Exynos thing again. They started it last year when they launched the Samsung S23, Galaxy S23 FE with the Exynos 2200. So that was the only phone in North America with an Exynos. Okay. So will this mean that Samsung is trying to get back into the chip game? I don't know. It would help them with the software integration stack, just like they have, just like Pixel and Google and Pixel have done with the Tensor, and Apple with their M2 the M series silicone. So it remains to be seen. Maybe they're testing the waters. Maybe no one will notice. In which case, hey, they can start putting them out there.
If this Exynos chip and the Qualcomm chip offers the same kind of performance and the same kind of features, then I guess why not?
They are harmonizing everything because the 7 years of updates applies to the entire S24 line and the Samsung Galaxy FE, Samsung S23 FE. So they are harmonizing everything. It's going to happen at some point where they just don't need Qualcomm anymore. I think that we're setting that up. Qualcomm chips are still the most powerful.
Yeah,
but I think it's getting close.
Yeah, I mean, you'll find Qualcomm chips in other phones, LG, Sony, and other Android-based phones. And Exynos is a Samsung-produced chip, right?
Samsung-produced chip. And let's talk about recycled cobalt.
Yeah, they're going to have 100% recycled aluminum for the S24 and S24 Plus.
Yep.
And 100% recycled rare earth materials, including the cobalt and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's good. That's good. They're following in line with their kind of green initiatives, similar to Apple. With the S24...
But no Mother Nature. Mother Nature isn't looking over them.
Yeah.
Not like Tim Cook.
That's right.
Because he's shady.
But they're following Apple's kind of case-wise. They're going to go for the titanium for the S24 Ultra.
Yeah, this is going to be the first... they've worked with titanium before. The Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is titanium.
Right, okay.
So it's not like they don't have experience with that.
That's titanium.
This is titanium.
Is it scratch resistant?
If I didn't have this case on it, it would probably be pretty...
Oh, you got a case?
I have a case on it.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, so it looks good. Still looks good.
Yeah.
Right.
So those are the common features, right?
Everything common, yeah.
On most of the S24 series.
Yes.
So let's move on to the Ultra.
Okay.
So the Ultra has, it didn't say what processor, like you mentioned, right? But it's supposed to be 20% better CPU performance.
But we know what it is, though.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're doing Apple things now. We're 20% better, 41% better, 30% better. CPU, NPU, GPU. I think we can skip all that stuff. We know it's better. Okay. But what's interesting, what are the flagship highlights?
It's got the cameras, it's definitely the AI cameras. You got this thing called dynamic OLED 2X display, which is very nice, high res, 5,000 milliamp battery.
Yeah, it's the biggest battery of the entire line, but they haven't been getting much bigger than that. I think that what Samsung is doing now is they're trying to increase efficiency, and I think that's helping a lot with the battery life overall. And wow, the screens. Tell us about the screen.
The screen has this Corning Gorilla Armor, which is like 4 times scratch resistant, and has anti-reflection. So the anti-reflection, anti-glare. So
remember the Samsung OLED TV that we were talking about with the anti-glare? This is all the same, similar technology that's going into this. This is going to give that screen a look that gives you the smooth surface without... Because you remember how you used to have matte screens to get the glare away, this is going to be pretty slick. And I can't wait to see the screen in person. The other thing that I really love is now, we've got the titanium casing, it's not just the titanium casing that makes it special. It's actually a lot thinner.
Thinner, yeah. It's much thinner and is literally edge to edge.
Yeah, the entire writing surface with the integrated. See, this tells me that the Note is dead immediately. The S24 just said, Note's never coming back. So that stylus and everything like that, the way it pops out is integrated inside. There's even a magnetic surface, I think, on the back, because I saw them laying it on the back. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it was just a photo, but it looks like it sticks to the back if you're not using it. So interesting to see that photo. Has the most storage of all the devices, up to 1 terabyte.
1 terabyte. It comes with 128. Starts with 120. Oh, actually, no, 12.
256.
256. Yeah, 256, 512, 1 terabyte, and it comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah,
it's kind of like pretty standard.
And they're doing something now. Obviously, the cameras are very similar from last year. They haven't changed a lot. They still have the 200 megapixel wide. They still have the 12 megapixel ultra wide and the 10 megapixel 3x optical zoom. But the new thing about this phone is the new 50 megapixel 5x optical, which replaces, I think it was a 10 or 12 megapixel.
That's right. Yeah.
10x.
10x.
Okay. So what they're doing is they're using the optical power and the new image stabilization engine with more pixels and also the Pro Vision AI to sharpen images and keep them stable at a much higher megapixel with an optical lens that's shorter.
Right. They did the demo with Mr. Beast. He was like, again, 100 feet up, camera facing that chocolate bar, like he Feastables. And it was like 50, was it?
75 to 100 feet
It's
away.
doing 50 megapixel, 10 times optical, and the image was like super sharp.
According to Mr. Beast, who's being paid by Samsung right now, because this is his official blogging camera now, apparently. So that was a lot of money for him to say those things. But I'm sure it's good. It's like basically cropping into a high megapixel image. You get a lot of detail as well too, as long as the quality of the captured image is good. And of course, raw image is coming back as well too.
Yeah.
There was also a lot of talk about that image stabilization. They didn't go into a lot of in terms of the frame rates and everything like that, but it's going to be 4K, of course. I think there's 8K as well too on this one, just like it was last year, just in limited quantity.
That's right.
And limited frame rates. And it's coming out. It's going to be $17.99, right?
$17.99 for Canadians.
For the 256 though.
For the 256. That's the starting price.
Yeah.
Starting price.
But the nice thing is that the launch deals is that the $17.99 model 256 gigabyte is the same price as the 512 gigabyte at launch, because they're going to double your memory for free. So no one's going to buy the 256 right now. They're going to buy the 512.
Go for the 512, yeah.
I think that's the minimum, because the images and everything that you get in this 512 gigabyte, you're going to fill that up pretty quickly.
And I'm sure, of course, with the USB-C connector, they'll be able to connect up USB storage devices and record directly on that.
I want to kind of see if that actually happens. I've been asking Samsung for a demo for the longest time, but we're not big enough yet.
But we did try it on your tablet.
Yeah, it actually did connect, but we couldn't record to it because this is not a phone. So it'll be interesting to see if they adopt what Apple has done, where it will be able to record high quality video externally directly to an external device. Right. Yeah. I know that ProRes is is not raw, but it's a high quality standard for recording on Apple devices, because it's their standard.
Yeah.
ProRes belongs to Apple. But I wonder if they're going to do some partnership with some other brand, maybe Blackmagic, to do some things on here.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
Don't they call it the Expert RAW? They call it
Expert RAW is for images, but it's not for video.
Okay,
so we'll have to see what they do with that, because I think they're missing out on this little filmmaking game with that. I mean, the cameras are amazing. They just need a raw image. I think video.
Yeah, I think for the next one, if they do have one, is to actually film the entire kind of presentation and everything with the S24 Ultra.
That'd be neat. Because they did that for the October Halloween thing for Apple.
Yeah.
So they were just flexing. They were just showing it off. That entire presentation was not necessary.
It was no good.
It was
to
a
be honest with
flex.
you. I mean,
It was
this
a
is
flex.
with real audience. It was a live event.
Yep.
So just because it's live, and
More
with
to go wrong.
with real. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it kind of went out no problem. And it
The
was
stakes are so much higher here. And I want to see them do that because that would make Apple's pre-recorded feel so small.
Yeah, because they did live demos, and this whatever spokesperson or spokeswoman doing their live demos of the smart chat.
Apple hasn't done that for a long time now.
No, they haven't.
So for Samsung to come out and go live like this, pretty bold of them. And they did really, I thought they did a very good job.
For Samsung,
I know that they had some hiccups for some of the presentations where they cut away for a second.
Yeah.
You know that something went wrong, but it was pretty quick when they came back.
Yeah.
So, hats off to them for giving that a try. I want to see more live events. It doesn't matter if someone screws up. It just shows that, hey,
It's
things
real life.
does happen. It's real life.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the lower end phones.
S24 and S24 Plus, literally the same phones, but
They are.
with storage differences.
And also memory as well too. The S24 Plus has 12 gigabytes versus the 8 gigabytes on the S24.
Yeah.
The battery is also a lot smaller.
For the S24,
Yeah, that's right.
you got
But
4,000.
it also has a smaller screen, which means that it's not going to be as hungry.
That's right. Yeah.
However, all of the new screens, just so that we're harmonized, is that all of them have 120 hertz.
120 hertz
adaptive.
is a standard. Yeah.
Like all the way down. You have to turn it on. It's not on by default.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do that. The other thing I thought that was really fun is that even though the S24 has a resolution of 1920 by 1080, out of the box, you can actually increase it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I
Because
didn't
it's
know
quad
that.
HD.
Okay, cool. So you go higher than HD.
Yeah.
Which is good. This time we have 3 cameras, so you don't
Yes.
have the full quad camera. No 200 zoom, but 200 megapixel. 200 megapixel.
You know what? Even 50 megapixels with 3x and 2x optical, I think that's fine.
That's fine.
I think that's fine.
That's fine.
Right?
Yeah.
Like my 7a, I barely ever zoom that much.
It's literally this S24 Plus is like compared to an iPhone, it would be the iPhone 15 Pro Max,
Yeah.
right? Would be the Ultra, yeah.
I think these
And
two
this would
phones.
be just be the Pro, and
Yeah.
this 15. Like so, it's something I would go for rather than the Ultra because there's no need for me to do the Ultra.
Yeah.
It's just a bit more pricier. I don't need to get like 200 megapixel. I mean,
Well, you have a Pixel 8 and we have a Pixel 8 Pro. So basically the S24 Plus really is the Pixel 8 Pro. And then the S24 is the Pixel 8,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
More or less, right? Because there's no Pixel 8a yet. That usually comes out later.
That's right. So, what processor will this use?
The S24, 24 Plus, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be in North America, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8
Okay.
Gen 3. In the rest of the world, it's going to be an Exynos processor.
Okay, okay.
Right? So the international versions are going to be a little bit weaker. Possibly they won't even have eSIM support because that's not popular over there, as we found out when we went to
That's
Taiwan.
right.
So all of these phones in North America will have eSIM support.
Okay, sure,
Okay,
sure.
so which is great.
This time, no titanium, or it's just aluminum casing,
Recycled aluminum.
which is good.
Yep, and also Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. So it's
Victus
not
2.
going to be as durable as the Ultra. So if you need something that is more scratch resistant, and you know what? Because it has a stylus, I would expect something a little bit more durable. These don't have styluses.
You don't need stylus for these
Yeah.
phones, no.
And pricing, not so bad.
S24 Plus is $13.99, roughly.
Yeah.
And the standard S24 is $10.99
Yeah.
Canadian.
It's not so bad, and they're coming out by the end of January 31st. Pre-orders are in place. Obviously, the best deals are happening on the S24 Ultra, but I've been disappointed this year with some of the offers because they
true.
aren't as aggressive as years past. Like the S24 Ultra is a huge phone. I'm not even sure that I would even want that because it's got a stylus and it's pretty big.
It's as big as your power bank, but in terms of size, but not width.
It's
depth.
it's like holding half of my tablet.
It's
big.
It is
It's
big.
it's a big boy.
It's a big phone, yeah.
Yeah. So if I was going to get a upgraded phone, I would get the S24 Plus. But I wouldn't. I kind of like my Flip, and I want to see what they do with the Galaxy Z Flip 6.
Already?
It's by the end of the year. It's coming. There's gonna be a Flip coming.
Okay.
So that's all right.
Yeah, if I was going to go for, I'll go for the S24 Plus. I need a second phone. I'm doing everything on my iPhone 13 Pro. It's an old phone, right?
Yeah.
It's 2.5 years now. So I need a new phone. I don't want to go for an Apple because it's the same damn phone.
And I'm also invested in the you have some Samsung stuff, so right. So the Samsung ecosystem everything kind of plays together really well. Like when I had to switch to the Pixel in Taiwan, a lot of stuff didn't work.
Oh,
the same. My watch didn't work right. My tags never didn't work again.
Is it because it has to have a Samsung account?
It has to have the Samsung account. It has to have the Samsung software.
Oh, right.
To run all those things, right? So I'm missing out on a lot of Samsung type stuff.
But would you recommend the Samsung account in terms of having all those things integrated would be a better experience?
Tags in your watch don't work the same on
the Google
Pixel. On any other device, it's very well integrated.
So,
even buds.
So it's almost like a Samsung ecosystem then.
Yeah,
really.
it's like Apple, but a little bit less so because you still can use the device of anything else. You just lose functionality and features.
Okay.
So if I was like if I didn't, I'm still thinking about this, but I still have the Pixel 7a, even though it was rated by MKBHD as the best photography camera, had the best pictures. I might trade the 7a for one of these.
Yeah. Well, I need a second phone and an Android phone specifically because I want to really give this a go again.
Yeah.
And this S24 Plus seems to be the spec I want.
It seems really nice, and to me the Ultra is just too much.
Yeah,
too much phone.
Yeah, too much of a phone for me for that one.
I like the titanium, but I don't know if it's going to trickle. So maybe the S25 is the one to go for because maybe it will get the titanium case as well too. That would be nice.
That's towards the end of the year, maybe.
Anyway, moving on.
Well, health is always big. It's getting bigger each and every year, and they have the Samsung Health with their new smart ring.
Yeah, they also that's TBD because we didn't hear a lot about it.
We didn't see it.
Yeah, because the Oura ring is the standard these days, where all the metrics and everything are measured on your ring finger or the other ring finger, right? And it's a device that isn't a watch.
It isn't a watch, no.
Right? It measures a lot of the same stuff.
There's no display or nothing like that.
You just wear it.
You just wear it, and it connects to your mobile device, whether it be a Samsung or
I just
whatever.
hate the fact that you have to charge such a tiny device because even the watch, I hate charging already. To have to charge this to take it off.
They should make a smart ring which is like motion charging.
Perpetual charging, right? Like a Rolex.
Yeah, like one of those.
Like
So
Rolex,
you just
right?
you shake your fingers, it auto charges it. Now, it does come with different styles, gold, silver, whatever.
Yeah.
We didn't see any physical product at the event. No demos, but it says it'll be coming, and also it'll work with these devices no problem across the board.
I'm curious about how it's going to, because they talked a lot about the Samsung ecosystem for health and everything. It's good, don't get me wrong, but they still have a ways to go because Garmin, which we spoke about in the CES episode, which is previous to this, they actually have a lot of innovation in this case. And one thing that they do really well so far is something called the body battery, which is based on the heart rate variability.
Right.
So the time between your beats, right, in milliseconds, I think. And that variability is what they use to measure how ready you are for your next workout.
Oh, yeah.
How recharged you are. And it's usually bang on, even though mentally we might feel otherwise, because it's measuring your body's response, your parasympathetic, sympathetic system, and also like so many I'm not a doctor, but it measures that and gives you an actual number that says, hey, you're feeling pretty good, you're recovering pretty good, but your energy is really low. And it's saying stuff like, if your energy is really low, you should probably, if you're going to go for a workout, take it easy. Here's the range that we recommend. Garmin does that stuff really, really well for fitness, something that Samsung does not do well.
Yeah. They're not a fitness company, but they're adding fitness to their...
They want to put it in there. And I can tell you right now, the Samsung Health app has a lot of workouts and everything like that. Like, they want to do it. It's just that it's almost like they're not serious about it, because I have a hard time loading some of these programs onto my watch so that I can follow along. It's not like I can load these programs in like a Garmin and follow these programs for the next week. I actually need to drag a phone or a tablet along and like have to do that.
Right.
It's not,
So the Garmin's all in one integrated, ready to go, right?
yeah, like
as a full
a
product.
Garmin watch, you could actually have it train you for an entire month just the watch.
Just using the watch.
Yeah,
no
because it'll
other
show you
devices.
what the next workout. It'll recommend workouts that you should do today based on your body battery, your heart rate variability, and everything like that.
Okay.
And it's really, really geeky in that respect. It's very biohacking, right? So I do want a Garmin. Maybe Garmin will send me a watch to try out, a 265 Forerunner or the 965, please. Anyway, I do want to give a Garmin a try. I wonder if I can just take it out for a 30-day spin or something like that. I do want to see what I'm missing out on.
I mean, it's going to be, we're going to see a lot of health, fitness and health products, and Samsung adding this is just basically the next step.
Yeah, people want to live longer, and if they can have people buy 5 more Samsung Galaxy Z Flip whatevers, they make that much more profit by investing in the health of their customers.
That's right. More people buying them more products, right?
No, isn't that great?
But overall, I think this product is something that it's going to happen, right? Because when we had the S23 and then the S23 FE, we knew it was the end of the line for the S23, right?
Yeah.
So something has to come out on this S24.
Yeah. One more thing is kind of unfinished. I like that they brought out something, but I hate that they keep us kind of. When is this coming out? Like the smart ring, like where did that come from?
It just came out.
And also what I was expecting personally, because when they launched the 6 series of their Galaxy watches, I was actually expecting to find the Galaxy Watch 6 Pro. Right? That's what
the new watch didn't come out.
No watches. So maybe this is something that's going to happen in August.
Well, it'd be funny that, like you mentioned, having the Garmin watch do it all on its own, standalone. Imagine the ring, you wear it, and the watch that you have there working together, or Galaxy 6 watch if they come out with it.
Yeah, it's true.
Without the phone, right?
It's true. I think that both are good, but you have to remember, we talked about this in the fitness episode, is that there's nothing more accurate than a strap. That's the best way to do it. In fact, the newer straps from Garmin will actually store your heart rate data.
Yeah.
And then because that new watch actually has cadence, and it can actually measure through gyro your step your step variability, so you can see how balanced you are when you step down.
Yeah.
It has sensors inside. A ring can't do that.
No,
and the ring's going to run out of power, right?
It's just too small.
It's too small, right? So having said that, though, I know that the Garmin strap does work. You can actually pair it, but it doesn't give you nearly anywhere the amount of information that a lot of more serious fitness people would want. So if even something basic, like let's just put it this way: if I stop to eat, I can't just pause the workout and go to another. It's weird.
Oh, okay.
Right? So little things like that on a true smartwatch are not fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
It's almost like,
because a smartwatch, like a fitness watch, like Garmin, is specialized for that purpose only. So, you're going to get the best of that kind of product or that kind of experience on a dedicated.
They can't do it. It's a software and a sensor thing.
And
right?
And I think a lot of you're probably asking why certain companies can't add certain features, because, to believe it or not, certain features are heavily patented, right?
Oh, right.
Which means licensing, there's a problem with licensing patents and stuff like that. Like exactly what happened with Apple Watch with their blood monitor and oxygen level and that kind of stuff. Was it a company called Massimo? They developed this technology and patent.
And what's stupid is
they just took it.
Apple talked to them, and they talked about the licensing agreement, and then they ghosted them, and then all of a sudden it shows up in their watches.
Bad.
That's terrible.
Just stealing their stuff.
Oh, what did Steve Jobs say? Great artists steal or something like that?
He just stole it.
Stole it.
Yeah. So that's why certain products don't have certain features. They need to, of course, thrash out the patents and licensing and that stuff. Once it's done, then they can add it to their features. A lot of the phones, for example, you think, oh, iPhone is similar to this phone, whatever. In fact, all of their phones that you see right now, pay licensing to
have
a
utility
company
patents.
called ARM.
Yeah.
ARM are basically the guys behind the chips for the chips for the phones.
Well, I guess in this case, if those features can't come to the Samsung watches directly or natively, then there will always be a market for a Garmin. So maybe in a sense, it's good for competition.
I guess so.
I just don't want to wear two watches. It looks weird. Anyway, I think we've exhausted the Samsung pile.
Yeah, nothing else apart from all those nice features. 7 years of OS updates. Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. And also the AI stuff, which will be developing. No timeline for when it might come out to other devices in the Galaxy lineup, but we do know that they are working on maybe a rollout. We just didn't hear.
I am excited about the AI features of the phone because now, we talked about the translation, right?
Yeah.
So remember, like 20 plus years ago, back in the day when I was working for an ISP internet provider, we used to communicate through something called ICQ.
Yes. Yep.
Right. And I was typing text, English, and we would have random people from all over the world join in the chat. Some girl from Japan, some girl from France, some girl from Germany. And they would have to type in English to communicate, right? So this is 20 plus years ago. I'm sitting at my desk, I'm thinking, what happens if I could come up with an idea where I could type in English, and on the other side would be literally their own native language, and stuff like that.
That would be great.
That idea I thought about 20 plus 25 years ago, and back then, of course, AI wasn't really around.
Well, that's the original universal translator from Star Trek. Because everyone wears the badge or wears a headpiece or or an injection or something like that, and everyone's language automatically becomes understandable. So the whole universe.
And when you
is
speak
understood.
they would also understand.
They would perceive it. The cognitive perception is good.
Yeah, and of course, back then, 20 plus years ago, they didn't have all the powerful servers, chips, and AI. Go forward 20 years now, you have all the power you need.
And now it's on device. So if you're in a low internet connectivity area, the language models are already downloaded. So let's just say that you've gotten off a plane in Calcutta, and you are trying to speak Hindi. You're trying to flag a cab down. It works.
It works. You don't even have to speak the language. You speak natively in your own language, and it will translate to their own language, which is great.
Yeah. Where's the cleanest veggie pakora?
Cleanest. Most hygienic.
Hey, specifics matter, right?
Right. So that's what I'm most excited about. And I think if you think about this kind of stuff, Apple is way behind. Way behind.
They're not even there yet.
They're like, oh my God, if they don't come up with something soon. See this thing I got here? The only thing I like this thing for is the camera. But even then, back then, that was like 3 years ago. This is kind of totally out of date now.
And people are actually uploading their iPhone photos to Google Photos to use the AI features. They're already there.
So Apple, forget it, mate. I'll go for the S24 Plus. Seriously.
All right. Where are we at?
So,
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And that's all you have. Another Samsung Unpacked event covered. And I was pretty impressed by the live stage and what the Galaxy S24 series can come up with. And hopefully this year we'll have some more new products from Samsung. And that'll be good.
We've got about 5 minutes here. You want to talk about the Vision Pro?
Vision Pro.
Yeah, so it's out. It's going to be out soon. It's shipping by the end of this quarter, which means that it's either February or March. It's going to be $3,600 US. They made some revisions to it. Basically, I'm going to summarize for you. Everyone that's worn the latest edition has said that it's slightly heavier. They've got new straps now, but all of them say that it presses on your nose so much that it compacts it, so you have to breathe through your mouth. So that's bad. Yeah. When they went to this 30-minute presentation with Apple controlled who, what, and who took the photos. So all the photos that you see were actually taken from Apple employees only. No one else could take photos of the journalists with the things on their heads. Okay. And they didn't give any journalists enough time to actually evaluate the image because it's something like this. Basically, one of the journalists described it like this. Okay, all of a sudden you're looking at an F1 car in this SketchUp thing, and you're about to take the wheel off and then say, oh, look, there's a pretty butterfly over. What? They've changed the screen, and now you're looking at this. What the hell's going on here? But no one said that it wasn't impressive. It was just no one had the ability to very much evaluate what they were looking at because Apple just basically smacked them around.
Yeah, it's not a product for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they tried so hard to make sure that no one said it was VR when it is.
of course, it's a VR. It's a VR goggle.
They've reinvented. They call it it's spatial computing, Winston. Spatial computing, according to Google, according to Apple. Right? They reinvented it.
No, I mean for that price, and I don't think it's not for everyone.
It's a lot of money.
And
it's a lot of money.
And it doesn't do with. I'm guessing it doesn't even do half the stuff it's meant to do.
Well,
right?
None of the demos were ever shown about pushing your MacBook into the space. Nothing computing ever happened in any of those
You're
demos.
supposed to be able to,
work in the space.
Work in that space and have a virtual MacBook so you can do this
None of it
on
happened.
the screen, right?
Nobody got that
and
demo.
move the mouse like that. And then,
And Apple was even saying that, we want to see these on airplanes. So when the stewardess comes to serve you your drink, your fog will actually lift, and your eyes will be able to meet hers or his.
on a plane, maybe first class only.
Yeah,
with a $2,000 deposit.
Yeah, and that battery will not last in international flights because I think it's maximum 2 hours of battery life.
Yeah, but the stupid thing is this stupid cable that comes out into a battery pack. What's the point?
And apparently you can't just plug it into a wall.
Proprietary power pack.
Yeah, you can't just do that. Anyhow, to be continued. And thank you so much for tuning in for another podcast show. Galaxy Unpacked by Winston and I. I hope you found that interesting. And do make sure that you find us on YouTube.
Yes,
if you are watching there right now, there should be a subscribe button. And we have noticed that some people, when they've clicked that subscribe button, has this light show, with fireworks. Please go ahead and do that. And when we say subscribe, apparently it's supposed to glow. So if it's glowing, please leave a comment below. We would love to hear that it's actually doing what Google is saying, what YouTube is saying. And we'll be back next week for another show at noon on Wednesday every single week. Okay?
That's right.
Until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.